Ever wonder why some people seem to have full control over their finances while others are always struggling? Could it be about the budgeting strategy they use? Welcome to our deep dive into the fascinating realm of personal finance and budgeting. In today's world, financial stability is not just about earning more, but also about how well you manage what you earn. And one of the often overlooked strategies is budgeting. Not just any budgeting, but a distinctive approach known as zero-based budgeting. It's an intriguing concept, isn't it? A budgeting strategy that starts from scratch, from zero every month. But how does it work? Who does it work for? And most importantly, could it work for you? These are the questions we'll tackle as we navigate the intriguing world of zero-based budgeting. So fasten your seatbelts, folks. Stay tuned as we explore the fascinating world of zero-based budgeting. So, what exactly is zero-based budgeting? Let's dive right into it. Essentially, zero-based budgeting is a method of budgeting where every dollar is accounted for. Unlike traditional budgeting, where you might base your budget on previous spending habits or income, zero-based budgeting starts at zero for each new period. Picture this. Each month or each budgeting period, you start with a clean slate. No assumptions, no pre-existing figures. From there, you build your budget from scratch, justifying every single expense, be it your monthly groceries, monthly subscriptions, or even that extra cup of coffee you treat yourself to every Friday. This approach forces you to scrutinize every dollar you spend, giving you an unprecedented level of control over your finances. The key principle behind zero-based budgeting is that every dollar has a job. It's not just about limiting your spending, it's about making sure your money is working for you in the best way possible. Now you might be thinking, that sounds like a lot of work, and yes, it can be, but it's also incredibly rewarding. With zero-based budgeting, you're not just passively tracking your spending. You're actively directing your money, deciding where every dollar goes. But don't mistake zero-based budgeting for austerity. It's not about cutting costs to the bone. It's about understanding your spending habits and making conscious, informed decisions about where your money goes. You're not saying no to spending, you're saying yes to spending on what matters most to you. And remember, zero-based budgeting isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. It's a tool, and like any tool, it's most effective when used correctly. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. So don't be discouraged if your first few budgets aren't quite zero. With practice and patience, you'll get there. In short, zero-based budgeting is about accounting for every dollar you earn. It's about taking control, making informed decisions, and ultimately paving the way for financial freedom. It's not always easy, but boy, is it worth it. Now, you're probably wondering, is zero-based budgeting for everyone? Well, let's dive into that, shall we? Zero-based budgeting thrives on structure and meticulous planning. So, if you're the type who loves ticking off to-do lists, gets a kick out of organizing your shelves, or enjoys planning your day down to the last minute, then zero-based budgeting might just be your cup of tea. But it's not just about being detail-oriented. This approach also appeals to those who appreciate clarity and control. If you're someone who likes having a clear roadmap for your finances, who wants to know where every single penny is going, then zero-based budgeting could be a game changer for you. In essence, it's about intentionality and purpose. It's about making your money work for you instead of you working for your money. If you love structure and detail, zero-based budgeting could be a perfect match for you. But what are the benefits? Let's dig into the advantages of zero-based budgeting. First and foremost, zero-based budgeting offers you better control over your finances. It's like taking the steering wheel of your financial vehicle. By allocating every dollar of your income to specific categories, you're taking charge of where your money goes and not leaving it to chance. This proactive approach can prevent overspending and help you stay on top of your financial game. Another major benefit of zero-based budgeting is the potential for increased savings. Since you're assigning a job to every dollar, you can designate a specific portion of your income for savings. Whether for an emergency fund, a vacation, or a down payment on a house, you can make saving money a priority. This ensures that you're not just thinking about the present, but also planning for the future. And let's not forget about its flexibility. Life is unpredictable, and so are our financial situations. Whether it's an unexpected medical bill, a sudden job loss, or a surprise expense, zero-based budgeting allows you to quickly adjust your budget to accommodate these changes. Instead of being caught off guard, You can rearrange your budget categories and ensure that every dollar is still being put to good use. Moreover, zero-based budgeting can also help you identify wasteful spending. Since you're keeping a close eye on every dollar, you'll be more likely to notice if you're spending too much on non-essentials. This awareness can lead to more mindful spending habits and even more savings in the long run. Finally, zero-based budgeting promotes accountability. It's a budgeting method that encourages you to take responsibility for your financial decisions. If go over budget in one category, you have to adjust another to cover it. This can foster a greater sense of financial responsibility and discipline. So, zero-based budgeting can truly make a difference in your financial life. It might seem intimidating at first, but once you get the hang of it, you might find it to be one of the most effective tools for managing your money. Why not give it a try? But as with any strategy, there are potential pitfalls with zero-based budgeting. First off, a common misstep is not planning for unexpected expenses. Life is full of surprises, and not all of them are pleasant. Your car might break down, you might need to visit the doctor, or your home might need urgent repairs. If you don't set aside some funds for these unforeseen costs, you'll find yourself scrambling to adjust your budget, or worse, dipping into your savings or racking up credit card debt. So always remember to allocate a portion of your budget to an emergency fund. Another pitfall is becoming too restrictive with your spending. While zero-based budgeting encourages you to account for every dollar, it's not about depriving yourself of all enjoyment. If you cut out everything you love, you're setting yourself up for budget burnout. You might start to resent your budget, and that's not the goal. The goal is to give every dollar a job, not to suck the joy out of life. So make sure to budget for fun, whether that's a night out, a new book, or a trip to the movies. Also, be wary of underestimating your expenses. It's easy to forget about those little purchases that add up over time. That daily coffee, the occasional lunch out, or your monthly streaming service subscriptions, they all count. Make sure to track your spending accurately and adjust your budget accordingly. Not accounting for irregular expenses is another pitfall. These are expenses that don't occur monthly but can still make a significant dent in your budget. Think about things like annual insurance premiums, vehicle maintenance, or holiday gifts. These need to be factored into your budget to avoid financial stress down the line. Lastly, remember that zero-based budgeting requires commitment and discipline. It's not a set-and-forget kind of budget. You need to be actively involved, regularly reviewing and adjusting your budget as needed. Avoid these pitfalls and you're set for successful zero-based budgeting. If you're enjoying this video and finding it useful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give us a like. We appreciate it immensely. We've journeyed quite a way together through the world of zero-based budgeting. Let's take a moment to look back at the key points we've covered. We started with a simple question: what is zero-based budgeting? And we found out that it's a method of budgeting where every dollar has a job, every expense must be justified, and the bottom line always equals zero. We then delved into the types of personalities that usually thrive with this form of budgeting. If you're detail-oriented, disciplined, and you like to have control over your finances, then zero-based budgeting may be just the ticket for you. But remember, it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. It's a tool, and like any tool, it's only as effective as the person wielding it. On the pro side, this type of budgeting can give you a clear picture of where your money is going, empower you to make informed decisions, and help you achieve your financial goals. But it's not without its pitfalls. It requires time, effort, and a commitment to stick with it. You'll need to avoid the trap of becoming too rigid or getting discouraged when unexpected expenses pop up. And now the ball is in your court. We've given you the knowledge, but it's up to you to take action. Start budgeting today. It may seem daunting at first, but remember, every journey begins with a single step. And in this case, that step is setting up your first zero-based budget. We'd like to thank you for spending your valuable time with us today. Your interest and support mean the world to us. Remember to subscribe and like if you found this video helpful, and feel free to share it with others who could benefit from it. Remember, the journey to financial freedom begins with a single step, or in this case, a zero-based budget. Start today.